Now, what has relating the story about Carnegie, the law of success and Think and Grow Rich to do with the success through a positive mental attitude? You ask, my answer. If it were not for each of them, the manuscript for this book would not have been written. But it was written, and it was first published in 1960 by Prentice Hall Incorporated. Think and Grow Rich contains the basic principles of Andrew Carnegie philosophy, those contained in the Law of Success, and Napoleon Hill's philosophy and experiences, as well as stories about many people who acquired wealth and success after reading the 8 volumes of the Law of Success. Success through a positive mental attitude combines all these in essence and has something more. It tells specifically how you can use the greatest machine that was ever conceived. The machine so awesome that only God Himself could create it. This machine is a human computer. It is your brain and your nervous system from which the mechanical computer was designed. Success through a positive mental attitude instructs you on what to do and how to do it when it comes to tapping. When using the powers of your subconscious mind, where have you been taught to constructively use, neutralize, control, or harmonize with your passions, emotions, instincts, tendencies, feelings, moods, and habits of thought and action? Have you been taught how to aim high and achieve your goals regardless of the obstacles? If your answer is no, you will be taught these things if you read and then apply the principles in Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. Results are what count. Over the last 16 years, more than 420,000 hardbound copies of Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude have been printed. Our leaders have had such phenomenal results in changing their lives for the better, meeting life's problems courageously and bringing their desires into reality, that I was delighted when arrangements were made for pocketbooks to publish the paperback edition for the books published by Pocketbooks reach hundreds of thousands, and my chief goal and Napoleon Hill's was to motivate multitudes of people to free themselves from the slavery of their undesirable thoughts, habits, and actions, and to help them seek and acquire the true riches of life by fulfilling desires that won't violate the laws of God or the rights of their fellow men. Freedom from the bonds that enslave them. In the preface by O.G. Mandino to this edition of Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude you read, I speak from experience. Many years ago, through my own stupidities and faults, I lost everything that was precious to me, my family, my home, and my job. Nearly penniless and with no guidance, I began to wander the country, searching for myself and for some answers that would make life bearable. I finally found my answer in W. Clement Stone's and Napoleon Hill's Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. O.G. Mandino is now famous as a lecturer and author of The Greatest Salesman in the World and other self-help books, and Norman Vincent Peale and other well-known authors have told me many times. How do you have inspired others to hide personal achievements by quoting illustrations and principles from Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude? I was recently invited to dinner at one of Washington's famous restaurants by a friend. Jimmy the waiter rendered the most pleasant and effective service I have ever gotten at any fine restaurant in any part of the world. After dinner, as my party was leaving the restaurant, Jimmy asked me aside and said, "May I take half a minute of your time?" "Certainly," I responded. "I just wanted to tell you that Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude saved my life," he said. Another man dead G told me when I was on the Lee Phillips show, "You said you were going to change my life." Well, you did. And here's a list of changes that took place in 5 years. I went into business and I'm doing very well. 2 of my daughters graduated from college, and 1 is still attending a private college. Previously I had no funds for college education for them. I purchased a condominium with a swimming pool, golf course, etc. I've had beautiful vacations and much more. Many thanks again for success through a positive mental attitude. It is always on my night table and I can. One of my valued possessions, a doctor who practices in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on 2 occasions when I met him, said I thought you would be interested in knowing that one of my most effective prescriptions to certain patients with psychosomatic illness is a special one I prescribe. A book Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude when there are several thousands of experiences that could be related. The greatest testimonial can be your experience when you learn and apply the principles in this book. Special instructions when you read this book, read it as if the authors were your personal friends and we're writing to you and you alone _ sentences, quotations, and words that are meaningful to you. Memorize self-motivators. Keep in mind that this is a book to motivate you to desirable action. Abraham Lincoln developed the habit of trying to learn from the books he read, the people he met and casual events. These gave him ideas for reflection and thus he was able to relate, assimilate and use ideas as his own. You too can convert your creative thinking, artistic talent, knowledge, personality and physical energy into success, wealth, health, and happiness. This book more than tells you how it motivates you to try. Look for the message that is applicable to you when you recognize it. Pay attention. Get into action to direct your mind into desired channels. Try to answer each question at the end of each chapter during your thinking and planning time. W. Clement Stone.